But as I said, I'm Denee Evans, the CEO of CMLS, and I'm happy to be in sunny San Diego with all of my favorite data standards peeps here. So I appreciate all the work that you do. Accurate and transparent data are the keystones of an MLS. So I really appreciate the time and effort you guys put into making that all happen and advancing our industry. I want to thank RESO for having me here. I really appreciate the relationship that we do have with RESO, and Sam is great to work with, and we stay in contact and make sure we're helping to support the industry. So what is going on at CMLS? I'm glad you asked. As the trade organization for MLSs, we have over 231 MLS members serving 1.7 million subscribers in the US and Canada. So we call the North American model, and 77 business partners, because it takes all of us to create that marketplace of transparency, accuracy, and efficiency. So, that was supposed to have the membership numbers on it, so just imagine it says 231 MLSs and 77 business partners. All right, I wanted to talk a little bit about what if MLS, and I love the last session that we just finished there with Richard talking about the collaboration. And we are in a time right now, there's so much going on where there's federal regulators weighing in, regulators digging in, rapidly changing marketplaces, lawsuits, cybersecurity, low inventory, artificial intelligence. There's just all these things happening. And so there's this opportunity where we can say, what if this happens versus what if we could make something happen? And I think Richard in that last panel was a great example of it. So this was the theme at the CMLS conference, was what if MLS, and had a lot of conversations around that. So I thought I'd share a couple of updates from that event in case you didn't get to make it. But I think just to continue the conversation and the thinking about what if, what are the things you all can make happen, and how does standards support that, that time? I just read a quote yesterday, I think it was actually from another event, where they said, times of such significant change are the best times to take advantage of opportunities of innovation and evolution. So I think if we can all sort of remember that. But one of the quotes, we had Jeff Turner, who was there at the CMLS conference, and one of the most important advances in computer technology since the graphical user interface. I should probably know graphical user interface, but I think that means when I'm using the computer. But I think just really talking about how impactful that is for our inventory right now. His quote was, "Data is the new oil and AI is the new electricity." So really digging in how that can support our industry. How does AI help to simplify tasks? And obviously, there's some caution to how it can impact us negatively, but really looking and thinking more about what are the opportunities, and how we better support the consumers, the professionals, in making this happen. The conversation was very much, it can't be avoided, and nor should it be, but how can MLSs and our real estate industry really embrace this and see what it better supports the industry. So don't be afraid of it. It is an opportunity how we engage, but let's make sure we talk about and think about the pitfalls that could be there. We also talked a little bit about the cyber attacks that happened. I love the panel. I think that was yesterday morning talking about it. We dug into it a little bit at CMLS. Dave Howe came and told us about his experience that happened, I think, 18 months ago or so. We also had an FBI agent there who was over cybersecurity. And I think one of the biggest takeaways for me that he said was actually developing those relationships with your local FBI offices. So if something does happen, you have somebody to reach out in. And obviously, too, in addition to that, is making sure you have a plan in place and know what you're going to be looking to do. I think the story was yesterday, somebody got the email. It was Paul, you got the email to wire some money somewhere. Like, that happened at our organization too. So really being ready and aware to have a plan and talk about it with your teams. Next is our CMLS best practices. So we got to see a little glimpse of this. We are updating the CMLS best practices. I think a few of you in this room got an email in the last few days to head up is what we're calling our main advisory council that will see and talk about, oversee and coordinate all of the different topics. So we've got those asks and we're kicking our meeting off, I think it is next week, and some in-person meeting hopefully at NAR. But what I'd ask from each of you is the follow-up from that is we will need more experts. This is not an opportunity where you'll learn about these topics, but when you can bring your expertise about compliance, about data licensing and those types of things, we'll have subgroups in each of those areas where you can bring your expertise and help contribute to those best practices. Our goal with this best practice update is to not make it so they don't need a update again, but that it's an ongoing and continually updated, evolving set of best practices to support the real estate industry, specifically MLSs and how we advance that. So that is, be on the lookout for that. If there's a topic specific that you are interested in, data and technology that is your passion and you would consider yourself an expert, we would love to have you part of those groups. You can come tell me, email us at info@councilofmls, and we'd love to get you part of those work groups. Next is our CMLX training. If any of you in here who have V1, 2, or 3, please clap, raise your hand, do a backflip, do something so we can say thank you. Appreciate it. Awesome. So far, we've over the time of had 15,000, woohoo, 1,424 graduates of the program. And so I'm really proud of that. Just CMLX 1 has reached its 10-year where it started as a vision of some committed volunteers, like all of you, coming up with this program that we can better support the industry. We are working to develop and go deeper on the CMLX-V program for volunteer leaders because we see that as a huge opportunity to make a difference in the MLS space, is how we can better educate, inform, and build volunteer leaders to help drive these discussions and decisions around the board table. So keep an eye on that. And I'm really proud. We just had our most recent graduate, CMLX 3 graduates. And they were awesome. They were so awesome. They got their own custom shoes done. I didn't wear those ones today. But it's such an amazing program, and I'm just really proud of them. So I want to thank all of you who did go through CMLX 3. That is our leadership. It's 5 days in person. It's 2 separate weeks plus a project. And the first time that project got presented on stage at CMLS at our conference, and appreciate all of you who've contributed to that. All right. Next is joining the conversation. Coming together like this, where all of you are sharing your insights, your wisdom, your knowledge, you're asking the questions, what ifs, why not, how can we, what's next? I think that's the real key to our industry and how we're able to collaborate and move things forward. I want to thank the time. I don't think we give that enough. We travel, we come to events, but really it is about advancing the industry, advancing your organizations, better supporting your subscribers. So I appreciate that. I wanted to announce that we do have our MLS Matters is it's not every Thursday because we're not having one this week because there's a RESO conference, but we will be starting those back up in November. And I think the next one the team just said yesterday, and you should see an email, is we're going to have our next one in November will be on AI, because that is a lot of conversations. How is that impacting MLSs? So we will look to bring that together. And then I think in December, we're going to look to have something about what the results of some of these lawsuits going on right now, and what is that going to mean for MLSs once we have some decisions. So that's queued up for both November and December. The next things, though, in case any of you are at Anaheim at the NAR event, I just wanted to put these events on there. Sunday is the breakout forums, and I want to thank NAR, and I think I saw Jason here earlier, that CMLS will be helping to facilitate those roundtables. Again, it's the coming in, talking about what's happening, what questions you have, how do we share there. But those are on Sunday, I think at 3 o'clock, Jason? 3:30? Something like that. You should be able to fly in for the afternoon to make it. And then I did put on there the other MLS meetings. And so look forward to seeing you and talking about it there. And then last, I want to finish up with one of the most important things I think we can all be doing as an industry, and sharing the value proposition, and sharing the value proposition of each of us, each role that is played to create the real estate industry. Specifically at CMLS, we're looking to advance and advocate for the role of the MLS. So I say it's time to get loud. Our value has never been challenged like this before. It's never been questioned. But most people don't understand how and why it works. So it's easy to dismiss. So I'm asking that everyone help us to share this story in your local markets, at your organizations, whether you're a business partner and a vendor or a technology person. We have plenty of business partners who are incorporating into their messaging and their the documents they're producing, as well as MLSs. We even have some agents and brokers who are incorporating this stuff, and we've built all of those things to support it. But currently, we're working on a white paper. It's completed, articulating the value of the MLS, targeted specifically at regulators, the Department of Justice, the Federal Trade Commission, to help really help them understand how it works. I saw a lot of phones out taking pictures at the last screen of all that flow. I mean, that's a lot of work to make the market efficient, to get the data out there, to make it accurate, timely, and comprehensive. I went to the international roundtable this morning, and just hearing him talk about how data can be so dated and incorrect and just false, and the word she used was chaos for the consumer. And I think that's one of the biggest values we bring to the marketplace here as the North American model, is that it is accurate, timely, and benefits the consumer. So we're asking for support. If you're interested in it, we have so far 33 organizations that have signed on to support our Champions of MLS initiative. And that 33 covers 510 subscribers. We have a handful of business partners who are also part of that. And you can go to championsofmls.org. You can read more about it. We also have Making the Market Work, which is targeted to the industry as to how to talk about the value of MLS to your own subscribers, customers, and then also to intheknow.org, which is about how to talk about it to consumers or your family, your friends. What is it that you do? What's your day job? So I'd encourage you to go to that. This also is the CMLS team. If you ever need any help or support, that is the amazing small but mighty CMLS team that works to support all of you. And that was our Champions reception, which we had a great time at, celebrating the people who've chosen to sign on and support that. So with that, I will wrap up and say, if you have any questions, you have any concerns, ideas, suggestions, please email us, reach out, come say hello. And then with that, I'm going to assume you were all here just to hear me give the update and nothing to do with these things, right? Just nod and say yes. I feel good about myself. All right, so I'm going down this list, and I have the next person is from Regional Multiple Listing Service, John Harrison. Oh, all right. Thank you all so much for your time, and I appreciate all you do for the industry. Thank you.